Good morning. Welcome back to the Red Mic. Happy Monday. Glad you're here. Today's Red Mic message, a third moment. Maybe the lesson landed. Maybe it didn't. A while back, I gave a Red Mic message called The Second Moment. It was about Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia. He had just finished an incredible season. He was the Heisman Trophy runner-up, but after losing the award, his immediate reaction wasn't exactly his finest moment. He lashed out. Then, of course, came the apology. And my point was simple. What you do after the loss pretty much tells us who you are. I also talked about what was coming next for Pavia, the NFL. At roughly 5'10", Pavia wasn't the prototype NFL quarterback. He didn't have the size or arm that makes scouts overlook everything else. So I'd said something that turned out to be more prophetic than I intended. I said, when you don't have prototype advantages, you can't afford self-inflicted weight. Then he went undrafted. Now, Baltimore gave him a chance anyway. They signed him as an undrafted free agent. And I figured that was where we would find out what happened next. Turns out, though, we didn't have to wait long. The Ravens last week waived Pavia before training camp even started. They needed a roster spot after signing veteran center Ethan Pocic. Lamar Jackson and Tyler Huntley were established at the top of the quarterback depth chart, and Baltimore decided to move forward with Skylar Thompson and Joe Fagano competing behind them for the number 3 spot. That's the NFL. Sometimes the numbers do not work in your favor. But here's why I'm coming back to Pavia. This is his third moment. The first was losing the Heisman. The second was what he did immediately afterward. Now comes another disappointment. Except this time, something is different. Now, as of this recording, I've not found him complaining about the decision, attacking the Ravens. I haven't seen any angry social media posts. I haven't found any excuses. He's been quiet. Maybe that's nothing. Maybe it's everything, and the lesson finally hit home. Think about it. He is the first Heisman Trophy finalist who doesn't look like he's going to end up in a training camp. So that's why I said maybe the lesson landed. Growth isn't proven by an apology. It's proven by changed behavior. Pavia can't control Baltimore's roster. He can't control whether another NFL team calls. He can't make himself 3 inches taller. He can't change what scouts wrote about him, but he can control Diego Pavia. That's it. Sometimes that's enough. One of the hardest things about leadership is really realizing how little of life we actually control. The bosses make the decision. The voters choose someone else. The customer goes with the competitor. The promotion goes to another person. A roster spot disappears. You can spend your energy raging against all of it, or you can ask the only question that really matters. What do I control now? This is his leadership moment. Not in pretending disappointment doesn't hurt, not in pretending that every decision is fair, not in convincing himself that he doesn't care. It lives in controlling the response when you cannot control the outcome. When your margin is already small, that discipline matters even more. Pavia was already fighting perceptions about his size, his arm, whether his game would translate to Sundays, and his attitude. He didn't need to make the hill any steeper. None of us do. If you're already fighting uphill, don't put rocks in your own backpack. For Pavia, the job is now pretty simple. Stay ready, work, wait. And if another team calls, be prepared to walk through the door. And maybe the NFL calls. Maybe his opportunity comes somewhere else. I've seen speculations about, the XFL or whatever it's called now, Canada football, maybe going back and being a coach at his alma mater. I even saw somebody mention maybe WWE. I don't know what's next for the guy, but I do know this. The real test of whether we've learned from our mistakes isn't the apology we give afterward. It's what we do when life gives us the chance to make the same mistake again. Sometimes maturity is a statement. Sometimes it's an apology. And sometimes it's knowing when to not say anything at all. Pavia just got another chance to show us what he's made of. So far, he seems to be handling this moment differently. And that's good for him. Now we need to see what he does with the fourth chance. Life will keep giving us moments. We don't get to choose all of them, but we do get to choose what we do with the next one. That's today's Red Mic message. I hope you found it interesting or helpful. I hope you're able to put some of these things in place in your own life. I would appreciate a like, a follow, and a share. If you don't want to do that, let me know what you think down in the comments. I'd appreciate your feedback. Thanks again for being here. I'll see you again tomorrow. And until next time, don't forget, as always, life is short. Drink the bourbon. I'll see you.